Long ago, in a small village near the sea, a baby girl was born under the light of a full moon. Her name was Louie, and from the moment she entered the world, it was clear she was unlike any other child. Her skin shimmered like pearls, her hair glowed like sunlight on water, and her eyes sparkled like the stars in the night sky. The villagers gasped at her beauty, but their admiration soon turned to fear. An old woman, a seer, stepped forward and placed her wrinkled hand on the baby's forehead. She closed her eyes, feeling the energy that surrounded the child. When she opened them again, they were filled with sorrow. "This child is cursed with beauty," she whispered. "Her face will bring both love and destruction. She must hide it, or the world will never let her be at peace." Louis's parents wept. They did not want their daughter to suffer, but they believed the seer's words. They wrapped her face in a soft cloth, vowing to protect her from the dangers that her beauty could bring. As she grew older, Louis learned to keep her face covered at all times. She wore a veil that hid her features, revealing only her kind, gentle eyes. Despite the curse, Louis had a heart full of warmth and kindness. She helped the elderly, cared for the sick, and treated animals with love. Everyone in the village admired her, but they also wondered about the face beneath the veil. Many men tried to win her heart, hoping she would reveal herself to them, but she refused. She knew that if anyone saw her true face, chaos would follow. Growing up, Louis longed to be normal. She wished she could run freely without the weight of the veil pressing against her skin. She wanted to laugh openly with her friends, to dance in the moonlight, and to look at her reflection without fear. But every time she saw someone staring at her too long, she remembered the warning and hid herself away. Her mother, sensing her sadness, would often comfort her. "My child, you are special. Not because of how you look, but because of who you are. One day, your true purpose will be revealed." Louis found solace in nature. She would spend hours in the forest, talking to the trees, whispering to the wind, and listening to the songs of the river. The animals seemed to understand her pain. Birds perched on her shoulders, deer approached her without fear, and even the wild cats of the forest purred in her presence. But the villagers were not as kind. Some children mocked her, calling her a ghost or a spirit. Some adults whispered behind her back, warning their children to stay away. Only a few, like her childhood friend Mwape, stood by her side. "You are different, but that does not make you bad," Mwape would say, defending her from cruel words. "One day, people will see you for who you really are." As the years passed, Louis became more isolated. She spent most of her days alone, finding peace in the quiet of the wilderness. But deep inside, she longed for something more. She wanted to be loved, to be seen for who she truly was, not just the mystery behind the veil. However, she feared that if she ever removed it, she would be doomed to a life of endless pursuit by those who would either adore or envy her. One day, when Louis was fetching water from the river, she saw a young man drowning. Without hesitation, she jumped in and pulled him to safety. When he opened his eyes, he was struck by her kindness. "Who are you?" he asked. "Why do you hide your face?" Louis simply smiled and said, "It is better this way." She turned and walked away, but the man could not forget her. He was not just any man. He was a traveler, a storyteller who roamed from village to village. He told tales of the mysterious veiled girl who saved him, and soon people from far and wide came to see Louis. Some came with love, others with jealousy, and many with selfish desires. The peace of her village was shattered. Louis tried to escape the unwanted attention. She spent more time in the deep forests, tending to injured animals, climbing trees, and learning the ways of nature. She became one with the wilderness, finding solace in places where no human gaze could reach her. Yet, her heart remained restless. She longed for a connection beyond the trees and the river. She wanted someone to understand her soul, not just wonder about her face. As she grew older, Louis longed for love. She dreamed of someone who would see her not for her beauty but for her heart. One evening, as she sat by the river, the traveler returned. His name was Eric, and he had spent years searching for her. "Louis," he said gently, "I do not care what you look like. I only wish to know your heart." Tears filled her eyes. "You do not understand. My beauty is a curse. If I show you my face, everything will change." "Then let it change," Eric said, stepping closer. "I would rather face the storm than live without knowing the woman behind the veil." Moved by his sincerity, Louis slowly lifted her veil. As the moonlight touched her face, Eric gasped. But instead of fear or greed, his eyes were filled with awe and love. "You are breathtaking," he whispered. "But it is your heart that truly shines." For the first time, Louis felt hope. She spent more time with Eric, sharing stories and laughter. He made her feel normal, not like a cursed being but like a woman worthy of love. They walked through the fields, picking wildflowers, speaking about dreams, and watching the stars together. Louis felt a joy she had never known, but a fear still lingered in her heart. Could this love truly last? Yet their happiness was short-lived. Word of her unveiled beauty spread, and soon the village was in chaos. Men fought for her hand, women whispered enviously, and strangers arrived, demanding to see her face. One night, unable to bear the attention any longer, Louis fled into the depths of the forest. She wandered aimlessly, feeling lost and afraid. But Eric never stopped searching for her. Days turned into weeks, and when he finally found her, she was weak and tired from her time alone in the wilderness. "Louis, please do not run from me," he pleaded. "You do not have to hide. Let me stand by your side, no matter what comes our way." Louis looked into his eyes and saw only love and devotion. She realized then that true love was the key to breaking her curse. It was not about hiding or running. It was about being seen and accepted for who she truly was. She reached for Eric's hand, and as she did, a warm light surrounded them. The weight of the curse lifted, and for the first time, Louis felt truly free. She returned to the village, not as a cursed girl, but as a woman who had overcome her fears. The people, seeing her courage and kindness, learned to appreciate her for more than just her beauty. Over time, the whispers of envy and fear faded, replaced by admiration and respect. Louis and Eric built a life together, one filled with love, understanding, and purpose. And so, the girl who once hid from the world found happiness not in magic, but in the power of true love. Her story was told for generations, not as a tale of a cursed beauty, but as a reminder that real love sees beyond the surface, embracing the soul within. And from then on, Louis and Eric lived a life full of love, adventure, and the joy of being truly seen. But their journey did not end there. Together they traveled far and wide, sharing their tale of love and resilience, teaching others that beauty is not a blessing nor a curse. It is only what the world chooses to see. And with every heart they touched, Louis's legacy grew, ensuring that no soul would ever be judged by their face alone.